Coming up, how the University of Iowa sets a new record in student success and their graduation rates.
Jorge Gonzalez pleads guilty months after the ICE arrest in September at Bread Garden in Iowa City.
It's storming in Iowa City. The Iowa men's basketball team pulls off a huge upset against Nebraska.
While they last, storms and chills are on the way. All of your full weather forecast coming up.
All that and more
coming up right now on DITV.
Good morning from Iowa City. It is Wednesday, February 18th, and I'm Hannah Fideli.
And I'm Kabidi Mutamba.
And the third member of our team, Liz Schultz, is live outside Hubbard Park with today's forecast.
Liz, how long will these spring temperatures we've had last?
Yeah, Hannah, Kabedi, good morning. Now, don't get too excited because spring isn't quite here yet. I'm here outside Hubbard Park where it is a gorgeous 50 degrees, the sun's shining, birds are chirping, but we're going to see some colder temperatures coming up, so don't put away those coats. Now, later on, taking a look at temperatures, it's going to be pretty windy, and we're going to see a high of 64, quite the warm day today. Now, temperatures are going to cool down in the high 50s tonight with rain chances, but tomorrow we might see some rain again with the high of 50 degrees, and that cold front slowly coming back. Now, these are some record high February temperatures we're seeing, but as we all know, Iowa temperatures are constantly changing, so I'll be back later with the rest of this week's forecast. Hannah?
Thanks, Liz. Author Fran Lebowitz will make her first Iowa appearance in April. Lebowitz will be speaking at the Angler Theater as part of the University of Iowa Lecture Committee circuit. She is known for her best-selling collection of essays titled Metropolitan Life, along with her collection Social Studies. Lebowitz is also a regular on various talk shows such as Jimmy Fallon and Conan O'Brien and has been featured in various documentaries. The event will take place on April 22nd at 7:30 p.m. and is free and open to the public.
And the University of Iowa is celebrating a record-breaking success. Newly released data shows first to second year staying enrolled climbed to just over 90% this fall. That's the highest in school history. This marks the fourth year straight of improvement. 4- and 6-year graduation rates all broke records with more than 3/4 of students graduating within 6 years. This is an all-time high with nearly 76% of students. Leaders say investing in student support and peer learning programs are making a real difference, helping more Hawkeyes stay on track to earn their degrees.
And Iowa City is gearing up to give new homes to unhoused veterans. A new plan would transform an apartment building into Iowa's first housing complex exclusive to veterans. Johnson County purchased the complex 2 years ago, and Iowa City wants to designate the space for veterans. The building is nearby the Veterans Affairs Building and is meant to support veterans navigating recovery, education, or jobs. Johnson County has yet to approve the plan. There are new developments in the high-profile immigration case.
We're going to send it to Julia Rhodes in the newsroom with the details.
Yeah, guys, Jorge Gonzalez, who was arrested by ICE back in September, has now pleaded guilty in federal court. Court records show that Gonzalez admitted to fraud and using a false social security number, and prosecutors say that the documents were connected to his employment. His arrest last fall drew community reaction and renewed debate over immigration enforcement in Johnson County. Gonzalez now faces possible prison time with sentencing expected later this year. Iowa City lawmakers are also responding to community questions around public health and human rights. Around 50 residents attended a town hall-style event where State Senator Janice Weiner and State Representative Eleanor Levin discussed current legislation at the Capitol. Attendees asked about proposed changes to education policy, vaccine requirements, and how human rights protections could be impacted by new bills. Lawmakers say that they hope that these events like this keep constituents informed and engaged as sessions continue. And decisions about a local spot in town are being made. I'll send it to DITV's Ryan Lynch, who is live outside of Fieldhouse Bar and Grill with more information about the future of this business.
Thanks, Julia. Iowa City City Council held 2 votes on Fieldhouse Bar and Grill's alcohol license at their meeting last night. The first vote was to undo the city's original suspension of the license. code that was no longer in effect when Fieldhouse's license was taken away.
They voted to undo the suspension because the basis that they suspended our license on was removed from the city code in 2015.
The council also considered a measure to not approve Fieldhouse's alcohol license renewal later in February.
They had another agenda item tonight that was to not renew our liquor license.
Council members referenced city zoning policy that they said Fieldhouse violated.
This one is not what it said it was, and we have a lot of people here saying like it's not actually operating per our code.
The blame goes on someone who's intentionally ignoring the zoning code at every step of the way.
And what I've seen is really kind of going against that zoning code.
The council members involved voted 6-0 to not approve Fieldhouse's license renewal.
Motion passes 6-0 with a 1 recusal.
Fieldhouse managing owner Tracy Barkalow said the city's actions conflict with state code.
This comes down to the city of Iowa City trying to regulate business hours for alcohol sales in direct violation of state code.
Barkalow said Fieldhouse will continue normal operations as they appeal the decision. Live from downtown Iowa City, Ryan Lynch, DITV.
And while excitement cooks up in the Iowa City marketplace, Iowa baseball also heats up in their home opener. Women's basketball dismantles the Huskers, and Iowa men's basketball does it as well. All that and more coming up after the break.
Daily Iowan TV allowed me to get hands-on training, really touch a camera every day, get repetition on a weekly basis, get out, cover games, get the highlights, tell the stories, and that's what I do now on a daily basis covering sports here at KCRG.
Welcome back to DITV this Wednesday morning. Now, it's really warm outside. I couldn't believe when I woke up that it's like, I saw it was 50 degrees. I was like, oh my gosh, is spring here?
No, my commute to work this morning was so much more comfortable than it usually is. And I think Liz is still outside with the rest of this week's forecast to tell us how it's going to be.
Yeah, you are right, Kabetti and Hannah. This week practically mirrors spring-like temperatures, but we're going to need some umbrellas and coats for the rest of this week. Will February showers bring March flowers? I don't know, but Friday it's going to be a high, brisky high of 36 degrees, back in that chilly winter temperature range with a low of 20. And Saturday's even colder with cloudy skies. Yikes, at a high of 33 and lows in the upper teens. Monday, the sun's back out with a high of 32 and low wind speeds. And Tuesday warms up just a bit. It'll be windy with a high of 47 and partly cloudy skies. Now, spring break is just weeks away. I know that I will be in Florida, but I just really can't complain about these spring-like temperatures. I'm live from Hubbard Park. Liz Schultz, DITV.
Okay, and I know that things are no longer going to be hot outside, but I heard things are pretty hot this week for men and women's basketball.
Yeah, I mean, I was on my phone last night looking at videos and I saw that they stormed the court and I was like, what the heck is going on? So, Ryan, can you fill us in, please?
Absolutely, guys. Came out of almost nowhere, but the Iowa men's basketball team played in a pivotal clash versus top 10 ranked Nebraska last night. A gritty, chippy, defensive battle ended in a way Hawkeye fans will never forget. DITV's Elise Gann was courtside to witness history.
Hours before tip-off, Hawkeye fans waited outside of the Carver Hawkeye Arena gates, ready to go. 2 hours later, they ended up here. It's a calm scene now, but moments ago, I was just trampled by Hawkeye fans on this very floor after a 57-52 upset victory over the 9th-ranked Nebraska Cornhuskers. Iowa can exhale now, but it was a dogfight up until the very end. The rivalry between Iowa and Nebraska is one of the biggest in all of college sports. However, the hatred for Iowa's Cornhusker foes only grew as former Iowa player Price Sanford made a return to Carver in enemy colors. But the Iowa crowd turned that loathing into motivation for the team, helping the Hawkeyes stay in tune with their top 10 opponent. In the first 15 minutes, neither team was able to lead by more than 4 points. By the end of the first half, the Hawks were up on the Cornhuskers 33-28 with the help of the Carver crowd.
When everybody comes out, you know, no matter what happens, it's fun.
Iowa and Nebraska exchanged leads continuously up until the final few seconds as Cooper Koch and Tavion Banks went 4 for 4 on free throws to lift the Hawks to their final score of 57 and leading them to their first ranked win of the season. The Hawkeyes are not done proving themselves as they'll face the 24th ranked Wisconsin Badgers this coming Sunday in search of their second upset win of the season. From Carver Hawkeye Arena, Elise Gann, DITV Sports.
But Iowa women's basketball also took on Nebraska on Monday. They had a much easier time beating the Huskers 80-67, and DITV Sports' Colin Carruthers has how the Hawks dominated that match from start to finish.
Number 15th ranked Iowa Hawkeyes took on Nebraska in Pinnacle Bank Arena in a game that featured multiple career-high sagas. Our first chapter takes us along Iowa's explosive start. Out of the gate, the Hawks were like Olympic track stars, with that movement led by Taylor Strumlow. She scored 9 points in the opening quarter and would march on to a career-high 17 points.
My shot felt pretty good today. That was exciting. Just hitting a couple threes. Chat had a couple of those good dishes off of that, so I think just making good reads.
The next phase features Ava Hayden with a complete takeover in the second quarter. She scored 14 in that quarter alone and was unstoppable on the post throughout the contest. Reaching a double-double, Hayden matched her career high of 27 points.
But I think her athleticism and her foot speed is pretty extraordinary, and I think she's just beginning.
Everything was clicking for Iowa on their end of the bench, but when we flip things to the opposite bench with Nebraska's campaign, well, it was just filled with an unfortunate plethora of errors. Nebraska couldn't get anything in rhythm. The times they were trying to connect, it was just mistake after mistake after mistake, rightfully leaving the Cornhusker faithful very frustrated. Yet in turn, it barely felt like a road atmosphere as the chants you hear back in Carver made its way to Lincoln.
We got the best fans. Just seeing them show out for us is really heartwarming, and I don't think any place is like this.
Iowa led this game in almost every statistical category. Rebounds, assists, steals, it all contributed to Iowa's impressive win. Now they'll look to build on that as they close out their road trip on Thursday against Purdue. From Pinnacle Bank Arena, Colin Carruthers, DITV Sports.
Of basketball, but forward Ava Hayden was also given a special nod after her career-high performance against the Huskers. The Oregon native was named to the Naismith Trophy late season watch list. This award is given to the most outstanding women's basketball player with on-court success and leadership. The winner will not be announced until early April, but Hayden will have a chance to advance her resume for this trophy tomorrow when the Hawks head to West Lafayette, and the Boilermakers are 13th in the Big Ten and 4-10 in conference play. Hawks have won their last 9 meetings against Purdue and will look to make it 10 in the next game. It was also a big day for Iowa baseball fans last night as Rick Heller's crew returned to Duane Banks Field for a standalone game against UW-Platteville. We have DITV's Cole Krieger live outside Duane Banks Field to give us a recap of last night's game.
That's right, Ryan. It is starting to feel like baseball season with this weather. As you might recall, last year, Iowa's home opener canceled due to the cold and snow. But Hawkeye fans got a taste of spring fever yesterday as they returned to Duane Banks Field to take on UW-Platteville. The Hawkeyes quickly dismantled the Division III Pioneers with a score of 34-5, setting a new school record for runs. 9 Iowa pitchers combined for 10 total strikeouts, while Jalen Ziegler and Kellen Strohmeyer batted in 5 runs each. Next up, Iowa will hit the road once again. The Hawkeyes will head down to Boca Raton for a 3-game weekend series against the Florida Atlantic Owls. First pitch for Game 1 of the series begins at 5:30 on Friday, Central Standard Time. Reporting live from Duane Banks Field, Cole Krieger, DITV Sports.
Online or listening on KRUI 89.7 FM.
We are here live from Iowa City every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8:30 a.m. and online anytime at dailyiowan.com.
For Liz Schultz, I'm Ryan Paris. See you again on Friday morning right here on DITV.